Hello and welcome to part 2 of my blues guitar tutorials from Play It Loud, and I'm Matt. Yeah, okay. Now, this is going to be how to solo over 7th chords, a very important part of blues guitar, jazz guitar, pop guitar, country guitar. Just we're going to focus on blues guitar here, but this will help you out almost anywhere because you're learning how to match scales of chords. So let's just dive right into it. Alright, typical blues progressions. You've probably seen this one a whole lot. I don't have it exactly right here. I was just trying to make a point. But this is a 12-bar blues progression in the key of G. It's not exactly in the key of G major because there's not an F in the key of G major, which F is the dominant 7th interval in G. That's a lot of music theory nonsense. Just ignore me. And same thing with C7. There is not a B flat in the key of G major. So those are some weird little music theory things. Don't worry about it. But this is basically a simple blues structure. You know, G7 to C7, G7 to C7, G7 to D7, and then going down to C7, down to G7, then back to D7 to end it. And that's pretty much it. This is it uses the 1, 4, and 5 chords in G major. But again, G7 and C7 do not normally appear in the key of G major. So if you just ignore all the 7s and everything, I'm teaching about 7s just because that's the point of this lesson, but I'm probably confusing you. So that's a blues structure right there. That's one of the common ones. You'll see that in E major, D major, C major, sometimes in B flat major. But yeah, those are some of the basic musical keys that you'll see blues guitar being played in. Okay. Now here's another one. This is a 1, 6, 2, 5 progression in the key of A major, and as you can see, there's a couple minor 7ths there. A minor 7th is made out of F sharp, then a B minor 7th, then an E 7th. This is all diatonic. It's all in the key of A major. There is no notes that don't belong to A major in this one, so this one's nice and clean rather. But music's about breaking rules and not staying within any boundaries. So, but this is very common. A lot of 50s pop songs like Earth Angel, Stand By Me by Ben King, which I don't know if it was in the 60s or 50s or not, whatever. Bash me in the YouTube videos if I'm wrong. You win. But, this is another one you'll see a lot. And I was actually watching Joe Pass's, one of Joe Pass's Hot Licks videos where he goes over the 1, 6, 2, 5 progression a lot, and that Hot Licks video is on YouTube if you want to check it out. But okay, those are two of the basic blues progressions that you'll see. But you'll see mostly the 12-bar blues stuff. It won't get much fancier than that. Okay, so let's break down a 7th chord. So here's the G7 again. It's G, B, D, and F. 4 notes. That's it. It's just a G major chord with an F added on top of it. And I don't want to go into all the theory of it because that'll take me 20 minutes to go through, and I'll have to make a bunch of other fancy presentations that you see here with my big keynote presentation. But that's basically it. I'm sure you hopefully have gone through some of the G7 shapes before. We're going to go over an example of a lick that plays over G7 in just a minute, but that's pretty much it. Look, just 4 notes. 4 notes. And here's a couple of... Wait. Sometimes I forget what I put in my keynote presentation. Sorry about that. When you want to solo over any 7th chord or any chord entirely, any chord progression, always ask yourself, number 1, what notes can be used over this chord? I just told you what can be used over G7th. Those 4 notes, those are 4 of the best notes to use. Even though you can use, 9th intervals, 13th intervals, but that's slightly more advanced. We're not going to get into all of that. And the second thing is, what scales or arpeggios contain these notes? What scales or arpeggios contain the 4 notes that are in G7, G, B, D, and F? It's not going to be G minor pentatonic. Well, actually, it is. Never mind. It's not going to have it perfectly. I'm going to go through the example and show that to you. But look, here's a short answer. C major has all that. It has it's C, D, E, G, B. I just messed it up. That's what happens to you when you are under pressure to make a good video using Keynote and a microphone here. But it's G mixolydian, D minor pentatonic. If you You can find a scale generator somewhere. Just go and see if it has those 4 notes, G, B, D, and F. I'm just trying to go through this video a lot quicker than my other ones so that I can stop wasting your time. Okay, so why not G minor pentatonic? Well, it's because of this. See, these are the 5 notes of G minor pentatonic. See, it has almost all those 4 notes in G minor in the G7, which remember is G, B, D, and F. That B flat, which you may remember is the color tone, the blue note in Blues Guitar Tutorial Part 1, which I hope you watched. And I'm going to show you a very, very easy way to fix it, and I'm going to show you why minor pentatonic scales are used so much in blues guitar, because this is all you got to do to fix it. You just tweak the B flat to B, and you'll be good to go. And this is the lick that we're about to go into. Let me just make a quick little, one more little slide here to just kind of show you the notes that you'll be using in G minor pentatonic now. And oops, I almost forgot one. Like I said, it's kind of weird making these videos and feeling the pressure to get everything exactly right. So there you go. It's just see, there's that G minor pentatonic, and this is the blues scale. Okay. Or actually, no, it's not. I'm just confusing you even more. Why don't we just go into the lick and I'll shut up. Alright, so here's the lick right here. I'm just going to be breaking down more of what the G7 does and how this lick is working and such, and how to use some of those scales that I mentioned. So here we go. Let's just listen to the lick real quick. It's using triplets, as you can see. Very cool stuff. Used a lot in blues guitar solos. And it's not exactly playing just a G7 there. These are the actual chords that it's lining out because it's doing some arpeggio stuff, some fancy stuff. And that's just, see, there's G major, this is E minor, this is C major, and that's G major again, E minor, and then that's officially G7 because the F that makes that G7 doesn't come up until right here, or at least I'm not seeing it. Yeah, there's no F there. There's I don't see an F anywhere in here. Yeah, I checked it several times before getting here, so I'll look stupid, which I probably already have by now. But that's the only F in here that makes the G7. You can see here's a couple of shapes that are G7s, and I'm going to loop this and help you get the sound of a G7 chord in your head. And not the greatest sounding example right there, but it's just those are just some shapes that make G7. And to show you, you can see here's F right there. There's F again, and again, and one more time. That's it. If hopefully you know that open G chord that you probably learned as a beginner very, very well. All we did was stick the F in there, and that makes it a G7. Voila. And then the bar chord shape, there's the F. And then the other bar chord shape higher up the fret at the 10th fret, there's that's the F. And then this one's slightly different, but there's the F again. All right. And see this one right here, this lick, I tried to find a simpler lick that plays over G7th, but this is all I could find, so I had to explain this a little bit more. Well, then again, I don't want to go into all this, but if you know a little bit of theory, just break down these chords right here, pause this video, look at them, and then go back and look at this. Okay? All right, cool. So I wanted to tell you one extra little thing, because like I said in the slide, let me go back to the slide real quick. Where are the chords that I talked about? Yeah, C major, that's pretty simple, hopefully. D minor pentatonic will work very well with it, and I already told you why G minor pentatonic will work. That's G minor pentatonic. And remember, to put the B in there, just throw in the B. as you go. All right. But we're about to talk about the G Mixolydian scale, and you're going to learn a little bit about modes right now, so you can finally, relieve some of the confusion that you may have about modes. So let's go back here, and this is a G Mixolydian scale right here. I'll play it for you real quick. Okay. So this is the only note that's making it a Mixolydian. It's that F, which I just showed you. It's the F that's right there, right there, right there, right there, and then right there. You see, that's the crucial tone that makes everything into a seventh, a dominant chord. And this Mixolydian scale is used a lot over 7th chords because it has that dominant 7th interval in the context of G major. And the way that I got that is all I did was I just lowered one of the tones in G major, which is this one, the leading tone is what they call it, and I just lowered it a half step. And an easy way to remember it, this is how I remembered it when I was first playing guitar. See, that's G there. And as I mentioned in the other video, I hope you know your fretboard pretty well. This is G. You always want to play the note just a whole step below the root note, and you got your 7th. That's it. And if I take these away to relieve some of the confusion for you, look, it's just it's basically just an E minor pentatonic scale, except we started on G major. Okay? Then all I did was I just added that note, and then you got a Mixolydian scale. That's it. And I put this right here so that you can see that this is the same note. That's an F in a lower octave, and that's the F in the higher octave, which is, again, right there. Okay, so you got that? Now, for the final thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to play this ugly sounding example one more time, and then I'm going to play the Mixolydian scale so that you can hear kind of how they go together, okay? All right, so listen closely. Okay, now I'm going to play the scale. Okay, I know it's not the greatest sounding thing. It doesn't have, a bunch of great Pro Tools plugins tied to it, and it's just in Guitar Pro using this stock nylon guitar sound. But hopefully you understand, the whole reason why to use this Mixolydian scale, why to use that F, why the F is the dominant 7th and everything, and hopefully that gave you a good example and gave you some insights into how to solo over 7th chords. Because look, this dominant 7th, let me go back and find it here. Look, that's it. The short answer to everything I just told you is just play that F. Take any scale you want, pretty much, as long as it has a couple of these notes and the F, and you'll be fine. You can do a lot more other things with it, but I'm not going to go into all that. Hopefully I haven't messed you up any more than I have now. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit, and that's it for the second one. All right. Thanks so much for watching.